In this session, we are going to learn what is this keyword in Java and how it is useful. So first of all, you will see that this is a keyword which is used to reference a variable that refers to the current object. So this is a keyword, and the purpose of this keyword is to refer to a variable that is actually referring to the current object, on the object on which you are performing the operations. Now let's see it practically. So suppose take the example, we have a class that is a student class, you can see here, and now it contains two properties, student roll number and student name, and we have this default constructor. We don't need to create the constructor, but I have just created the constructor here, this one. Now we have a class Pradeep. In the Pradeep class, at the line number 7, I created a object and created a reference S1. So S1 is a reference which is actually S1 is a reference variable which is creating an object in the memory. At line number 8, what I'm doing, using the reference variable S1, using the reference variable S1, I am setting the roll number to 3 and I have set the student name to Pradeep. So 3 is set in the object for S1 and Pradeep is set in the name for S1. Now in the same way, I created the another object and created a reference variable S2 which is pointing to the second object. With the help of S2 reference variable, I have set the property roll number to 5 and the student name to the Ritesh. So in this way, you have seen that I have created two object and two reference variable S1 and S2, and with the help of S1 I set the roll number and name in the S1 object, and with the help of S2 reference variable I have set the roll number and student name in the this second object. Now let me show you another concept. Another example is that I have a student class in which I have created a, you can say, parameterized constructor. So instead of you can say, instead of setting the, you can say, instead of setting the properties of roll number and name in the another line, what I've done, I'm using the parameterized constructor so that at the time of creating the object, I can set the properties. So here you can say at line number 7, I have created the object and with the help of parameterized constructor. So what I'm doing here, new student 3 comma Pradeep, and I've created the reference variable S1. So when this line will run, what will happen? Just see that S1 will point, S1 will actually referred by the this keyword, means when this constructor is going to be called, this keyword will present the S1. So now you can see that at line number 13 in student Java, at line number 13, this line, this will be work as a S1 dot student roll number because I'm calling it with the help of S1. I've created the reference S1. So this line will work S1 dot roll number equal to, and whatever parameter you have passed, that is 3. Now S1 dot student name will be name, and the name value you have passed, that is Pradeep. Now when we have created another object like this new student 5 Ritesh, and I created a reference variable S2. So this time S2 will be, you can say, pointed by the this. So means whenever you are creating any object and you are creating a reference, this keyword actually refers to the reference variable. When S1 is working on the object or when S2 is working on the object, this keyword is actually present the related object. Okay, so now I will show you one thing, this thing practically here. For example, you can say that this is the student roll number, student name. I have a you can say default constructor here. I've created the property s1 dot roll number. So actually what I'm doing, I'm setting the property of student roll number and student name for the S1 object in the Pradeep class. Okay, so now that's why I've created the reference. Then I'm saying S1 dot student roll number, S1 dot student name. Second, I created the another object S2 and I just set the values for S2. Okay, this is the one scenario and it is working fine here. Okay, now the second scenario is that instead of setting the property in the Pradeep class, I want to set this property in the student class. For that purpose, I need to create a parameterized constructor here. Okay, I'm creating a parameters constructor here, and now here I will pass something like that, int roll number. or can say int role, and now second is that string name here. So now what will happen? Now instead of using this concept like creating this creating the object using the default constructor, I will pass this value 3 comma Pradeep in the parameterized constructor. So what is the benefit? I don't need to do the assignment of my properties in my Pradeep class. I'm just commenting it. So what will happen? Now the thing is that we are going to assign or initialize the property of student roll number and student name in the student class constructor, parameters constructor. How it is possible? Because same code s1 dot roll number equal to 3 and s1 dot student name is going to initialize the property. But how we can write this code here? In this way, if we want to write this code, just simply see that I can write this code here, but this code in this constructor, because that is a common constructor, I will write this. So now this means when this object is called, this will present the s1. So s1 dot, it will become, when this line will run, this will become s1. s1 dot student roll number, and whatever values you are passing, that is coming into the roll number. So it will become this. Now you want to set the another property, this dot, and you can say name. So now here you can, whatever the value you are passing in the parameters constructor from the Pradeep class, that will be set here. So now you can say this will become the common constructor. This will become the constructor, common constructor, and whenever anybody want to initialize the property of a student class while creating the object, they can use this concept. Okay, so now just come to this point when the control will come to the line number 11. Okay, now if I do the same thing, I will call this parameters constructor by passing the values 5 comma Ritesh. Okay, so now what will happen? You know that whenever I'm calling this one, the properties 5 and Ritesh should be set in the S2 object. But how they are going to be set? Because when this constructor will run, okay, and control will go to this part. Control will go to this part. This will, now you can say referred. This will refer S2. So whatever from the which line you are just calling the constructor, this will present that object. So for this line, when this line will run, this will become S1. Now when this line will run, this will become S2. In this way, you can say this keyword works. So now that's why we simply say that, what is this keyword? This keyword is actually, you can say, this keyword actually you can say refer to the current calling object. So this is a keyword used to refer to a variable that refers to the current object. I hope you have clear understanding of this keyword after this session. If still you have a doubt, you can put in the comment of this video. And if you have not subscribed my channel till now, you can subscribe it. Thank you.